Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ice Cream Uploads here on Friday, the 3rd of December. Now, I don't know if anybody knows this. I know it's kind of caught us up by surprise. I know that there's a lot of people that, again, probably do not know this, but there is only me here today.
Thank
Obviously,
you
I've
for
got
the
a
ice
little bit of snow.
cream.
We've got a host in here from King Comic. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. We've got a little bit of snow on here because, it is Christmas time. But not only is it just Christmas time, it's Friday, the 3rd of December. It's the end of the week. Bibby has just got his Xbox Series S. It's all set up. It's ready to go. It's great. Do you know what I mean? That's not the only thing that's happened today. Graham's turned 40 years old.
Thank you for the
And it's
ice
Ozzy Osbourne's
cream.
birthday, yes, of course. Vern's here with the host as well. I appreciate that. You guys are in here nice and early. We always appreciate that. Gagad, for fuck's sake, it's still in the morning. Mrs. Bibby's downstairs. Just walked past her. She's got it on her phone. She's the vibe check again passed. Spike's in here as well as Nietzsche legends. Thank you very much. Obviously, Vern and King Comic are both in here as well. I think King Comic, it's your birthday today as well, isn't it? I've wished you a happy birthday too. So again, it's a Shagger's paradise today. It's all the Shaggers have their birthdays today, and then there's somebody else's tomorrow again. I don't know who that is. But it's something about their birthday being tomorrow as well. Happy birthday, Graham, and it's my day too. Just a year younger, says King Comic. Unlucky Graham, says Spike as well. So yes, congratulations on surviving another year and having another birthday. Graham is so close to 40 now. Is he 36? He might be 36 today. He could even be 37. I genuinely have no idea. I think he might be 36. I don't know if he's still about. I don't know if he's going to be popping up into the chat or anything like that today. But again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Scoop. It's the UK's #1 video game podcast. Even if we do say so ourselves, we go live each and every single weekday in terms of actual content, but weekday. Weekday. Weekdays Monday to Friday. That's when The Scoop go live. Every single day is for everything else. Basically, we go live 7 days a week. 5 of those, you're going to get the scoop every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish. It's just gone midday. Asim says, hey, I'm 37 young. I'll have you know. At 37, he was still doing the soo in front of the big screen at the beer keller. So, yeah, I mean, I'm nearly 31. It's my birthday next week, and I'm probably not going to tell you all that often, but it's next Thursday, I think. Yeah, next Thursday is my birthday. That's probably the only time I'm going to remind you. But I bought a Skyrim quest marker for my door, and I have to keep on reminding myself that I am 31 next week. But age is just a number, innit? You know what I mean? King Comic says, "Top lads, great community. Let's have some toast for Graham." Let's do that. And I am winding you up there. I have just ripped your words apart just to be able to fit my own narrative, because that's what I like to do. We'll do it when I'm 47 as well. Soo! Honestly, that was so funny. Just having I don't know, maybe 200 people in a room just all going soo at the same time. Even as a City fan, you just have to sit there and go, "You fucking set of sad bastards." It was great. So does Backache. Life begins at 40. Everyone's going to giving it the soo. Whose is tomorrow? I don't know if he's going to be in the chat. Basically, if you're on Twitter, you probably would have seen us all giving him shit today. It is Shogun Ash's birthday tomorrow as well. He's definitely 38 tomorrow. There's no two ways about that. Man's old. So yes, it's his birthday tomorrow as well. So December's a good month, really. December is a good month. It's just a shame that we all don't live that close to each other, because I tell you what, it would be a hell of a party, wouldn't it? It would be a hell of a party for all our birthdays. Well, they are that close together, and we all just live a bit too far away to be all celebrating at the same time. But enough of the birthday chat. It is just me today, so you are going to hear me quite a lot. It's just going to be my voice that's coming through your speakers for today. So, as always, as it is a dollop, it will only be a brief show, because there is technically one side of the conversation. You guys in the chat are obviously there giving your thoughts and impressions on top of my thoughts and impressions, but as we don't usually have someone to be able to bounce off of, the show does tend to be a little bit shorter, so it probably will be about 30 minutes, 45 minutes compared to an hour and a half when me and Graham are both firing on all cylinders and the chat's moving mad. Tito says, and he still gets ID'd for buying cutlery. Yes, he does, a butter knife. So he went back and just bought a meat cleaver just to enforce the fact that he's definitely over 18. Do you have to be over 21 to buy cutlery nowadays? I can't remember. We should have had a right shindig. I agree. We could have had a right shindig. Maybe that's something that we sort out for next year or something. The thing is, because all our birthdays are in December, and only people in December will know about this, and probably people in January as well. Samantha falls into this criteria as well, as hers is the beginning of January. But because we are getting older in January and December, everyone already has their finances and their Christmas period. Like, Christmas period is like 5 weeks. It's the start of December till the first week in January. So for the next 5 weeks, people have other things to be doing, whether or not they're going out and buying presents, whether or not they are going on Christmas dues and stuff like that. We fall into this catch of people not being able to afford to go out and do stuff like that, which is perfectly fine for me because I just like to stay in the house anyway, which is great. But yeah, it's a really odd time to be able, because you can't get people to go out a weekend because they have other things to be able to do. They are usually skint. So yeah, it's just a really odd time to have a birthday. We've got any scoops on any new games coming out? We've got Free Game Friday coming today. We also have something which is our lead title today, which we did actually bring to you last week, and we all had a discussion about what it could be. But Tito put something into the chat this morning of a news story that came out 4 days ago that I haven't seen on any other website that I usually get the news from. So it does seem like it's gone under the radar and a slight hidden gem, and you'll find out what that is when we go through the news story. I just want to catch up with the chat first. So you have to be over 18 but look 25 for some reason, or look 40 if you're shotgun. Nietzsche says, count this as my birthday gift to both of you. Okay. Is this a high five? If it is a high five, massive high five to you, Nietzsche. You've been an absolute legend this year. The VIP badge is there to stay. King Comic with the loves. And then Timeless comes in with the morning. Good, sir. Oh my God, Nietzsche, you don't need to be gifting shit. You have already been gifting everybody everything. There is no need for you to be going out with 25 gifted subs for everyone that's either been in the chat or that's been around this community for the last however long. Mate, you absolute legend. 25 gifties coming in for mine and Graham's birthday, according to him. Absolute legend. If you are in the chat and you've just been given a giftie on this fine Friday morning, then please do just say thank you to him, because that is insane. 25 gifted subs. If anyone wants to do the maths on how much that's just cost him, you don't need to do it. You don't need to let everyone know. But that is a lot of money that he has just gifted to this channel. So thank you so much. I mean, he has just pissed everybody else's chances of getting something in the loot drop on Monday, so that you could have a game of your choice and an ICU hat. That's just gone out the water now. The odds have just been catastrophically shortened. Oh my God. 25 gifted subs. Tito, thank you so much, mate. You are an absolute legend. Again, that VIP badge is, you don't have to pay for it. People don't have to sub, and people don't have to have and donate money to have this gifted badge. It just does go a long way to helping keep the likes and mics on and stuff like this. We very much appreciate it. King Comics coming in saying appreciate the love. When can we buy the hats? Obviously not going to win one now. The hats will be coming live in the new year. Do I say this now? I don't know if Graham will. Basically, we are looking at getting new merch in. Actual merch that we will have in our office that we can send out to you guys. Now, I've been drawing up some designs. We already have our designers in the office that have been drawing them up. But what we wanted to do was have stuff on hand. So if you guys was to ever want something, we would be able to give it you, because I love the Gamers Apparel stuff. We love the esports shirts that they provide for us. It just does take a long time. So that's something that we cannot manufacture ourselves. That's something that does have to come from them. But things like hoodies, t-shirts, hats, things like that, that's stuff that is in our control. So that's something that we are looking at sorting out. We will have a proper merch store coming soon. I'm not entirely sure when. What I want to do is have all the subscriber stuff leave the screen before I move on to the first news article. Otherwise, for the audio users, they will be in the mud. But stuff like that is stuff that we want to have at our own disposal to be able to give to you guys as and when. Whether or not it's going to be for social campaign stuff, I don't know, but the amount of stuff that we have coming to this channel over the next 3 months, shall we say, in terms of competitions, in terms of raffles, in terms of loot drops, in terms of all the other socially stuff that we like to do with you guys to get us involved with streams and just content itself, we love to give back. Whether or not it's something that you just have to be on stream for us, or something that we just have in excess. Usually, when we get given extra codes that we don't use for giveaways, we just put into our Discord for you guys. This is a not-for-profit organization. What we do this for. This is for us to keep on being in front of you guys and giving you stuff to look forward to in the morning in terms of a podcast, or to play games with in the evening, or just someone to be able to talk to at the weekend. Like, all this stuff is why we do this. That we all the money that we make from this goes straight back into the stream again. Like, we're upgrading our studio with some of the stuff that we get from you guys. So again, it doesn't go into our pockets. I genuinely make nothing from this, and neither does Graham or anybody else. It just goes straight back into the studio again. Forget about the 3 Lamborghinis that I've got outside, on the new car again that I'm buying at weekend. Forget about that. That's nothing to do with it. But no, the money that you guys send over to us, again, it's not something that we take for granted. It's not something that we expect you guys to do for us. The fact that Nietzsche has again taken us over the 100 subscriber mark again, because we did actually drop down to about 71, which is way more than we usually have anyway. Us getting to 150 was an absolute joke during September, but you guys have continued to support us through these last couple of months, which is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I very much appreciate it from you guys, honestly. Oh, fuck the loot drop, says says Nietzsche. Unfortunately, I mean, the amount of money that you've been dropping on this channel, you probably could have bought one. You probably could have bought one outright, but anyway, appreciate the love. With your luck, you probably. I mean, Spike's won it twice. Spike has won the loot drop twice, so he could be the only one that's going for a hat trick at this moment in time. Look, the new phone for 4K TV, Xbox Series S, and a new car, 100% not paid for by the subs. Exactly, that is something that I probably will. Well, I am going to be paying back for the next 5 years to Mr. Halifax. Did you actually know? I know this is nothing to do with video games, but if anyone is actually genuinely looking at getting a car, get a bank loan instead, because the APR rate of getting car on finance is like 16.5%. This is old people talk now. I know our demographic is usually around my age anyway, but it's like 16.5% to get a car on finance. If you go to the bank, we got our interest rate of 5%. It's ridiculous how much money you can save. Just go to the bank instead. You will save yourself a fuck ton of money, believe me. So yeah, we've basically taken out a loan to be able to get a new car, because baby Bibbit is arriving in just over a month's time, and we needed a new car because I take cars to Blackpool every single day. So that's essentially what we've got the loan from. And that's just me being transparent with you guys. I don't have to tell you any of this stuff, but you guys come here every single day. You share your lives with us in the Discord and stuff like that. Why would I be any different? But anyway, we are here for video game news. The subscriber stuff has stopped ticking on the screen now after Nietzsche has gifted us 25 gifted. So again, appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much. It will make Graham's day to find out that for his birthday, you dropped 25 gifties. I'm sure that'll be the best birthday present he would have received. We know that's not true. He obviously just got a massive screen. But anyway, our first news story. Have we actually opened any of these? I probably haven't, because I've been rushing around this morning. This week has probably been one of the busiest since I've been back into the office full time. Everything is just go. It's getting to that time of year where reports are coming left, right, and centre. You're trying to get all your social stuff sorted out for the next couple of weeks and that, and everything is go, which is fantastic, because you don't want to be the kind of guy that's just sat around doing nothing. Never looks good for you, does it? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, our first news story of the day, something that got brought to my attention as late as this morning by Mr. Tito. That's in the chat. Let's see if this works. Ta-da! There we go. Long-awaited Xbox Series X game exclusive reportedly getting a Game Awards reveal. The long-awaited Xbox Series X and Xbox One console exclusive is reportedly set to rear its head during the Game Awards 2021 next month. I apologise. I've just hiccuped. This month, Xbox released a major Xbox console exclusive in the form of Forza Horizon 5. Next month, Halo Infinite will fully launch. Looking ahead, Xbox has games like The Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, The Outer Worlds 2, Everwild, and a new Forza Motorsport, Perfect Dark, Fable 4, State of Decay 3, Avowed, and more in the pipeline. Some of these games are highly anticipated, but not as many are more anticipated than Hellblade 2, another upcoming game from Xbox Game Studios. Senua Saga Hellblade 2 was first announced during the Game Awards 2019, in other words, 2 years ago. Since then, we've seen absolutely nothing and heard absolutely nothing of the game, or at least of the Salient salient variety. That said, according to a new report, this will change this year's celebration of gaming. The world of gaming, word of the game returning via the show was first announced come the way of industry insider Ralph, a fairly new leaker, but one that has been making plenty of headway recently. Unfortunately, Ralph doesn't say anything beyond teasing its appearance at the Game Awards. In other words, while it's safe to assume that this May trailer will be shown, it's not safe to assume that this appearance will include any gameplay or release date or a release window. For now, take everything here with a grain of salt. As for the implicated parties, none of them have proved any type of comment. We don't expect this to change, but if it does, we'll be sure to update the story accordingly. In the meantime, for more coverage on all things Xbox, including all the latest news, rumours, leaks, speculation, you can click here, which is obviously not going to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the game that kind of... It passed me by because obviously I didn't have an Xbox. I wasn't playing anything on Xbox at the time. I don't even know if you could play it as part of your Xbox Game Pass subscription on PC. But it's a game that none of us in the chat and a game that none of us have come up with on social media. And it's something that's gone under the radar for me as well. Hellblade 2 could be the game that Jeff Keighley was hinting at. Apparently 2.5 years in the making. Do we think it's going to be a sequel? Do we think it's going to be a brand new IP? Genuinely, I have no idea. I'll just take a quick swig of my brew then. A quick swig of my drink. Let's bring me back onto the screen, because why not? A bit more baby. Here we go. So yeah, Hellblade 2 could be the game. Could be the game that Jeff Keighley was teasing for us last week. It was one of our news stories, and it's we was thinking, what was the game that we thought it could be? I'm trying to rack my brain now on the spot. It's a game that because I had a look at when Death Stranding came out, and it was 2019, so that was just 2 years. Because I thought Jeff Keighley, Hideo Kojima, probably they are best mates. He loves to show off his shit, so I genuinely thought it could be. Tito still thinks it could be Avatar. Timeless Soul says, I did actually, it was a great game, even if Until an Idiot messed it up for us in terms of the United game last night. It's such a shame it's Graham's birthday today with all that, with me being an Arsenal fan. To be fair, it would have just been a show about how Ronaldo shouts, "Zoo," or something like that. I don't know. Doctor's in here says, morning, you alright, Leeds? Right, Leeds. Tays Bad is, thanks for the sub. I was away. No problems. Thank you, Nietzsche, legend. Just wanted to love it if Graham would fix so we could win the loot drop. We don't do that here. We do not fix this stuff for people. It started off Fred nobbling our own keeper. I mean, I was streaming Skyrim last night, and you guys were keeping me up to date with that, so I appreciate you coming in and telling me the scores as and when it was happening. I think it'll be Barry's Mega OnlyFans Adventures. I mean, it could be. I mean, you'd probably have to pay £5 a month for it. A live service OnlyFans game. I don't know. But yeah, Hellblade. It was a game that kind of fell under the radar for me. I didn't think we'd see some. I didn't think it was going to be something like a proper AAA game. If I'm being perfectly honest. And obviously Hellblade does fall into that category. I definitely thought he was going to market something that he's just been quite close with. Maybe it might have been a friend at a video game studio that could have been like a AA or an indie game, and they just decided to promote it that way. I'm not too sure, but this is a very, very good shout, it being Hellblade. I would like to see more from it now. Is this actually on Game Pass? Because I might go back and play it now I've got my Series S. Game Pass, Hellblade. Let's have a look. See, you don't usually get this stuff when Graham's on here as well, because I usually have this stuff ready. Oh, you need to know Game Pass Hellblade. Okay, it does say that was in 2018 though. It was one of the most popular games of 2017. I think it is. The game is also available on Xbox Game Pass as well as cloud gaming. Yeah, so it is available there. So it may be a game that I actually go back and have a look at now. I've got the opportunity to be able to do so. I'm playing glorious 4K. I'm never going to get tired of saying that, by the way, because I've been so far away from having these experiences. I'm like 10 years too late. So everything now has to be played in 4K. I need to get a 4K monitor for my room because I've got one downstairs, essentially. It has been in the past, not sure if it still is. I think I've just seen something from August that does say that it is, so it will be hopefully something I'll be able to have a look at. Hellblade was a great game, not sure if it needs a second one, though. It says Timeless. Maybe. Again, I don't really know much of the subject matter. I just thought it's quite... Considering Xbox have been knocking it out the park recently with Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon 5, like... that they are well in the way for going for a hat trick at this moment in time. And the Game Awards is, I think, 2 days after the launch of Halo Infinite campaign. So imagine dropping that being an absolute banger, and then 2 days later having another exclusive being looked at for the first time. I think that would be an absolute madness. Hope Graham has a mint day on his birthday. I'm fairly certain he will. He'll be going into Manchester and drinking and eating all of the foods. Friday, I believe. Yeah, so I think it's well on the way. I can also confirm it is on cloud, so don't even need to install. I've just booted it up. Fantastic. I did actually try Generation Zero. I booted that up on via xCloud on my console. I signed up to it and then I jumped out of it. But I've got 4 games download. Well, I've had to pause them while I'm on stream. Otherwise, this stream wouldn't happen. So we'll have them to be able to go to at some point. I did put them in the chat. I did it. I think one was Stardew Valley, Halo Infinite multiplayer, obviously. No, it wasn't Forza because that's like 160 gigabyte. Basically, I need an expansion bay for it now. I need an expansion bay for the console because it only has like 380 gig. What was the other game? Project Zero and something. Oh, GTA San Andreas. I've got that installed because I do want to give that a go. I need to get back on Halo. Well, make sure, Timeless, that you're in the Discord because it is. I don't know if it's surely it's got to be crossplay. I mean, Project Zero is a game that I do want to play. I know that it's 4-player co-op. I'm not sure of the specifics on it, but I know that's a 4-player game. I don't know if you can play crossplay on PC and console, but Halo is definitely something that I will be doing at some point. I'm more aiming towards Sunday because I'm away all day on Saturday. So Sunday will be the first opportunity that I get to sit down and have games with people. Maybe even tonight. I don't actually know what I'm doing. It'll be late tonight, though. It won't be like early evening or anything. Gary says, all right, babe. All right, guys. How's it going, mate? How are you doing, Shag? Halo is crossplay, cheating galore, unfortunately. Yeah, I can imagine. Generation Zero. Oh, is it Generation Zero? I'm sure that's what it's called. Generation Zero. Generation Zero is the game that I really want to play because I only found out about this earlier this week, and it does look like a total Bibby game. Open world, post-apocalyptic co-op open world shooter. Yes, please. You can't turn crossplay off on Halo. Can you not? That sucks. That sucks big time. So good how quick it is to boot up on games on cloud. I used to be ashamed of being an ex-boner. Now I'm well out and well proud. Mate, they've got so much going for them. It's unbelievable. Like, genuinely so much going for them. Oh, that's something that I don't have set up at my house. We've got 3 different chat bots. So that's something that I can actually apply in myself because I've got that saved to one side. Game Pass. I exported loads of different lines that I could just put in anywhere, at any given time. Does a lurk work? Lurk. Yeah, the lurk works, which is good. The lurk works. Want to become famous? That's 2 that I've had this morning. We haven't had these forever, and now we get 2 in the same day. I'll put the Game Pass one in so I don't forget that one. That's good. I mean, I'm doing this all on the fly. This is a video games news show, and I'm doing this on the fly. This is what happens when Graham isn't here. Chatbot. Chatty. Command, Game Pass, response, boom. There you go. I want to become famous. I mean, if someone wants to make me famous, I'm not pushing for it, I tell you that much. It requires far too much time and effort. Far too much time and effort. Oh, I nearly closed down chatbot then. And there we go. I banned the term big follows. They've changed it back. Yep, the bots are out in force at the moment. I've seen loads in the last few days in channels. Yeah, it's taken so long. And the fact that you have to XS version of the console hardware means you run out of space super quick. Yeah, I do need to buy an expansion hard drive. Maybe a terabyte one. I don't think they're that expensive anymore. They used to be like stupidly expensive for any kind of external hard drive. But nowadays it seems to be that the price has dropped down. But anyway, Hellblade looks like it's going to be the new... it is going to be an exclusive from Xbox. Could that be the game that is Jeff Keighley was hinting towards? Could be the game that's 2.5 years in the making and the run up to the awards. Who knows? I do think it's a very good possibility, though. It's something that flew under the radar for me, and I love the fact that obviously Tito has found this article. I could not see or haven't seen anything referencing this game on any other outlet, news outlet, which is always it's always a pleasure for me because obviously I'm the one that in the morning that goes and tries and finds the articles and stuff like that. Graham obviously does chip in with that as well, but the majority of the time I'll be looking through and it's usually the same stories. They're a little bit boring. I try to find something a little bit more spicy and substance, something that we can actually have a conversation about rather than it just being a clickbait title and then go, well, that's the end of that one then. I like to have the conversation pieces, of which this is one that I don't have that much of a fight in, but you guys, I'm fairly certain do, because you're all fucking nerds. Tina says, I'll jump on my laptop in a bit and the phrase when I become famous later. I mean, I can do it afterwards, mate, but I appreciate your input. I appreciate you. That's what you got the sword of power for. But this one is a news article. I don't know whether or not you heard the video that I posted this morning. Again, it's something that I don't really have a dog in this fight, but The Matrix is getting an Unreal Engine 5 experience on PlayStation 5, according to a leak. I mean, this sub-tagline is fantastic. A whole Neo world. Massive fan of that, Matt. Again, written by Matt Wales over at Eurogamer, and he states that a sci-fi movie trilogy, The Matrix, which Keanu Reeves wears a trench coat and gets cross with some machines, is after nearly decade absence from cinemas, making a comeback later this month. In Lana, exclamation mark, bingo. Miss Lana, we'll just say. The Matrix Resurrections looks like it's going to be some kind of accompanying tie-in experience heading to PlayStation 5, as detailed by Reddit user The Andrew, there we go, nailed it, first time obviously. The Gaming Leaks Rumors subreddit, the new Matrix, the thing was discovered listed on PSN backend, and there was accompanied by an extremely minimal amount of useful information, primarily a couple of database entry numbers, an associated image, and word that it will be coming to PlayStation 5. To find anything else of note, we need to turn our attention to the aforementioned image, where a distinct cityscape presented in a classic Matrix green sits beneath a logo proclaiming the venture to be the Matrix Awaken, an Unreal 5 engine experience. Unreal 5 engine's prominent name check would suggest that Matrix Awakens is some kind of collaboration between Unreal Engine developer Epic Games and Matrix distributor Warner Brothers, intended to do a spot of double lifting on the old marketing front. Getting the Matrix in people's minds before Resurrection's imminent release is giving punters a real pressure. What is going on wrong with me today? I'm having an absolute nightmare. First, presumably interactive look at Unreal 5 engine, which has otherwise yet to appear in a shipped game. Epic, of course, recently released another interactive collaboration in form of a Kid in Mensa exhibition, a fever dream space, a virtual art gallery created on PC and PlayStation 5 in conjunction with Radiohead, albeit it's one built in Unreal Engine 4. As for when we may learn more about The Matrix Awakens, whatever it ultimately proves to be, that currently is unclear, but with The Matrix Resurrections due to hit cinemas on the 22nd of December this year, expected to happen sooner rather than later. If there was some sort of big video game announcement show happening between now and then. I mean, that last line there is obviously hinting towards the Game Awards. If only there was some sort of big video game announcement happening between now and then. Is this something that you think will get shown off at the Game Awards? I think it probably has a huge chance. I think given any game at this moment in time that has yet to be released or has some sort of tie in between now and April, I expect to potentially see it at the Game Awards. So yeah, I've never really been a fan of The Matrix, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think I've seen I know I've seen the first one. I haven't seen any more after that. The first one didn't really capture me. It's just, I think I was a bit young and I didn't really get it. I think if I watched it now, I would probably enjoy it. But when this came out, The Matrix, I think, when did it come out? Let's bring my face back in again. Matrix 1, maybe? Matrix 1? I don't know. I don't even know. Was it just called The Matrix? Yeah, it came out in 1999. March 24th, 1999. I was 8 years old. I was 8 years old when this came out. I probably watched it when I was 10. I obviously wouldn't have watched it when it first came out. So, yeah, it just went right over my head. It's just not something I was massively into. In the chat, you guys, obviously, you guys watching this back, or if you are watching this on any on-demand service, let us know. Are you a fan of The Matrix? Is this something that you are super looking forward to? Is this something as an experience on the PlayStation 5? Are you excited to be able to have a look at this stuff? Aratrax is in. He says, hello, baby. Good morning, sir. Good morning. How are you doing? Well, it's good afternoon to me now, but it's definitely good evening to you over there. Never was a fan of the Matrix. Yeah, I know a lot of people are. Obviously, I see it on social media all the time. People that I speak to regularly, they're all massive fans of it. I'm sure Asim is. I'm sure Asim is a massive Matrix fan. Basically, because he's a giant nerd. In it. I mean, Keanu Reeves' best movie anyway was Speed, so I don't know what anyone's talking about. Timeless says 1 was awesome, 2 was okay, 3 was poor, so they progressively got worse. Fantastic. I did play the game though. The Matrix game on PlayStation 2 was actually really good. It's 1:30 p.m. here too, by the way, so good day for the is the correct term. Fantastic. So yeah, The Matrix is getting a experience on a PlayStation 5. What that is, I genuinely have no idea. Neither does anybody else. We just know that it's coming. I'm fairly certain you're going to find out at the Game Awards what that is going to be. So moving swiftly on to the next note, we are actually making good time here. We are stretching this show out a little bit, which is great because I hate doing dollops that only last like 25-30 minutes because it feels like a waste of time for everybody. So I'm glad that we're dragging this out a little bit. So the next news story then, this is definitely something that we can all get behind at this moment in time. It's been written on VGC by Chris Scullion, and if I press this button, hopefully it'll arrive on your screens. 10:30ish, yeah, right. EA plans a connected Battlefield universe as it restructures its development teams. Respawn co-founder Vince Zampella is now overseeing the series. Written by Chris Scullion over at VGC, he states EA has announced plans to create a connected Battlefield universe as it makes widespread changes to its development structure. GameSpot reports that the publisher wants to release further Battlefield titles that will share characters and storylines. As part of these new plans, EA is shaking up the series studio structure, with DICE general manager Oscar Gabrielson set to leave EA altogether. Respawn's co-founder Vince Zampella will be taking on a new role as the overseer of the entire Battlefield franchise, and Halo designer Marcus Leto will be in charge of putting together a new Seattle studio whose aim will be to add more meaningful narrative to the Battlefield series. Speaking in his new role, Zampella told GameSpot that the plans were not an attempt to quickly move on from Battlefield 2042, which has been released to less than stellar responses from players, and this is an strategy in many ways. Oh, okay. This is say that twice as fast as you can. This is strategy in many ways, Zampella explained. We will continue to evolve and grow Battlefield 2042, and will explore new kinds of experiences and business models along the way that we can add to as a foundation to provide an awesome array of experiences for our players. In this universe, the world is interconnected and will share characters and a narrative. The universe will also build towards our community and will harness the power of Portal and user-generated content that puts creativity in the hands of our players. It's believed that as well as Leto's new studio, the upcoming Battlefield mobile game planned for 2022, there may also be a new game in development at Ripple Effect, not formerly known as DICE LA. Confirming its rebranding in July, EA stated that Ripple Effects was working on a new game, and whilst it wasn't confirmed to be a Battlefield game at the time, it was confirmed that Zampella was overseeing the project. VGC revealed last month that Fauzi Memzar, DICE's head of design, who looked after the Battlefield and Star Wars Battlefront franchises, left the company following the release of Battlefield 2042. His departure was announced in an email sent off to staff seen by VGC, in which it revealed that he's planning to leave for some time once the studio's latest shooter had been shipped. Battlefield 2042 was released in November to a critical reception from fans. The game currently has the worst user score of the year on Steam, thanks to over 26,000 mostly negative reviews. According to the reviews, the player base has grown frustrated with issues like the lack of a leaderboard, empty maps, and problems with in-game vehicles. DICE responded by providing details of its plans for future improvements to the game. We couldn't be more passionate about the game and will be supporting and evolving for years to come, the studio has said. So it looks like Battlefield as an entity and as a franchise will be looking at expanding storylines through different games. Now, the difference of a Battlefield game and a Call of Duty game is pretty much night and day when it comes to campaigns, because they are usually set in two completely different time settings. So most of the Vanguard one has obviously been set in World War II. Cold War, obviously that was set during the Cold War. You can see where I'm going with this. Whereas Battlefield, obviously this is based in the future. This is based 21 years from now. So what are they going to do going forward? Are they going to go back to it just being Battlefield 1, Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, and then just have maybe continuous storylines of characters that they now come to love from when they release the next game into the next ones. Like, how are they going to have these interchangeable storylines across various different games? I think as a narrative, unless they are just like what Fortnite does. Again, we always have the... Has my webcam just frozen? It has on it. Oh, OBS is frozen. Oh no, it's back. We're back. Oh yeah, OBS frozen. Then don't worry about it. Samantha just shouted "yeah" from the from the next room, so everything just frozen then. But we are back. Don't worry about it. The stream has not gone down. But yeah, how are they going to do this in terms of what the narrative is? I know we always compare stuff to Fortnite, but what they have with their game is something that's always... Hamish coming in with the raid of 23 people. Legendary behaviour. Big Ham raid, says Timeless. Big Laser Pen. Massive. I love that name. Happy birthday, Graham. Graham is not here at the moment. Where is the birthday boy? He has decided to take a day off. On a day when everyone's wishing him happy birthday, he decides selfishly to take the day off. So yes, Graham is not here, but Big Ham, thank you very much for the raid. Very much appreciated, Shag. I hope we've had a good stream so far. Did you get any winner dinner chickens, as Graham rightly pointed out yesterday, to PUBG's esports team, because they got it all wrong? They messed up big time. The real stuff made it look gritty and real, and now they're adding Santa suits and Christmas skins to tanks. A lack of vision and a half. I agree with that. When your game's in the mud and there's so much wrong with it and you go and sell skins to try and entice people to be able to come back in. But the Fortnite comparison that I was making was they have a narrative each season. Now, they have the chapters. Chapter 3 is happening fairly soon where the map is going to change. But the chapters all have a narrative. Like, it could be there's a new Marvel film coming out. So what do? They get some of the Marvel characters to come in and they change the storyline. They'll change an area of the map to have X-Men's house or whatever in there. Like, what they do with the game as an ever-evolving piece of content is, I assume, what they're going to be doing with this, just not in a battle royale setting. It's just each season will be something that's completely different or will tie into a storyline that they're going to build towards in season 8. Do you know what I mean? Like, they are building towards something with each season that they bring out, which is not a bad thing. Especially since a lot of people probably don't play the campaigns as much anymore. They play multiplayer, but now they have something to work towards. I can see that being a money spinner for them. What they need to have is a vision. And that's something that I think has gone by the wayside with this. I think this release, for all intents and purposes, was... I keep on saying that, by the way. Do I get that on a t-shirt? I don't know. But that seems to be my phrase of choice at the moment. For all intents and purposes, I think they have a very good idea of where the game setting is meant to be. I just don't think that they've executed it very well, and that's the difference. I mean, Lotus has been having a right good time flying around in the planes and that, but in terms of actually things that you'd come to expect from a Battlefield game doesn't seem to be there at this moment in time, which is a massive shame, and which is obviously why a lot of people have been voting this down. They don't agree that it's the direction that they think that the game should have gone in. They are lacking some of the key features of a Battlefield game. Again, I think they missed the mark with that one. I think if they had the vision to making all of these games tie in with each other, I think that could be a big move for them. Whether or not that means that they're just going to release Battlefield, the name is just Battlefield, and it's going to be a live service, always on game that you can just dip in and out of, and you can play team deathmatch, but you actually have a purpose of it meaning something come season 8 later down the line. I don't know. Again, I'm not a writer. I don't know how it would work, but I think given time, I think anyone would be able to write out a scenario for them for a long period of time. It's just how they actually implement that into a roadmap for people to want to get along and enjoy the ride. I think that's very difficult this day and age when people always want fresh content every single day, but not too much, because then it becomes overwhelming. People's opinions always do differ when it comes to how they actually want to, partake in their video game lifestyle. Like, playing video games is a lifestyle now, especially with people with families. They might not get as much time anymore. They might only get an hour in the evening and maybe 3 hours at a weekend. They need to feel that they are having the best 4 hours whilst playing that game, and that's very difficult when you have someone that may be playing 40 games for 40 hours a week. Like, how do you find the balance in that? I'm glad I don't have that problem. I'll tell you that much. I'm not happy with this, says Hamish. I'm taking the raid back. Don't worry, I will send your community elsewhere. don't worry about it. I mean, if they want to stay and they want to get into the front row, there's enough seats for everyone there. There's refreshments in the back. Feel free to go over there and get yourself a nice Scotch egg or a sausage roll. We have got vegan ones as well, don't worry about it. Not having that year here is a bad thing, though, says Big Laser Pen. I love that username, by the way. Promotes it for a year, when the day comes, nowhere to be found. Disgraceful behaviour. I agree. Tweet him that, please. Tweet him that. Because, he's been building up to it. And where is he? Nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. So, yeah, do feel free to tweet him that, saying that he spent all his time building up to it. And he didn't even want to come on the stream today. He already told me that. But anyway, it's Friday. And you guys know what that means. Friday means free games. That is obviously why we have this segment called Free Game Friday. And by God, do we have a belter. It's a game that if you're already on PlayStation, you may have already played. But it's a game that I know the likes of Tito, because he doesn't have a Xbox. Sorry, he does have an Xbox. He doesn't have a PlayStation. Might not have been able to get hold of this, but on his laptop, may be able to run it. Because I heard from the horse's mouth yesterday that Cyberpunk was being installed on Tito's laptop, was it? Did you boot it up yesterday and said it performed quite well? Well, it's not Cyberpunk that's been given away, so don't get your hopes up. This is something completely different. It was a launch game over on the PlayStation Store, and it says that a new free game on Epic Games Store titles have now been announced by Tom Ivan over at VGC. Godfall Challenger Edition and Prison Architect will be free to download from Bibby's birthday of December the 9th through to December the 16th, and they will replace Dead by Daylight and While True Learn, which are currently free to download. Is this Godfall? I haven't actually put this trailer on. So, yeah, Godfall Challenger Edition is now available. Well, it will be available as of next week for you. At this moment in time, it is Dead by Daylight. So if you haven't got that game already, do feel free to go over and take that one. Dead by Daylight is, it looks like a very good game. I haven't played it, but if you are into those 4v1 games, it does look like the go-to game for that kind of experience. So Godfall Challenger Edition, this is actually the PlayStation Plus free game this month as well, if I remember correctly. I don't think this is the actual campaign. I think this is just like an arcade version of it. So you are just going to be fighting against as many bosses as possible, trying to get as far as possible. I don't think it's the game that you'd. I don't think it's the game that you would expect. I don't think it looks like a campaign game, but I did actually love the look of Godfall when it came out. I just heard it was just a little bit short and a little bit meh. But yeah, the trailer looks really, really good, actually. But just go into your Epic Games Store next week and go and grab that game. Again, it is Free Game Friday. Go over there this week and grab Dead by Daylight. It may be a community game that we want to put on at some point in the future as well. I'm just going to have a look through the chat again. What are we saying? Happy birthday for Baby next week. Yeah, that's my next week. Again, after today's show, I will not bring it up. You don't need to know when my birthday is. It's next week. We'll celebrate it together next Friday, Anyway, we'll be live on Thursday. Don't worry about it. Godfall Challenger is just the end game stuff. I put a link to the controversy in Discord last night, says Iceman. Yes, Cyberpunk runs on high settings on 1666 laptop, so Tito's going to enjoy himself with that. Players who download this edition will immediately hit max rank, and all of their skill points use a ton of weapons to go along with them. Since you are jumping right into the end game, players will work their way through 3 modes: Lightbringer, Dreamstones, and Ascend the Tower of Trails. You have to pay more to get the actual campaign content. So this just looks like an arcade game. It looks like an arcade hack and slash game, but again, it's free. It may entice you, if you like the combat, to go out and buy the campaign. I don't see anything wrong with that. Loads of people saying don't bother with it. Again, if you like hack and slashing games, it may be. Yeah. Andrew, where's the other guy? Doesn't matter. You're my favourite. Oh, cheers, mate. Cheers, Drew. Appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, for a free game, if it's just end game stuff, you can go back and you can play through the arcade modes, and then if you like the game, you like the combat, you can go out and buy the proper game. I imagine they'll probably give you half price or something like that on there, or an incentive for you to go and buy it if you download it. I think that is a very good way of getting people into your game that maybe didn't like the look of it the first time round. I mean, we're getting this on PlayStation Plus this month, so it's definitely a game that I'm going to add to my library and potentially play at some point. Just put it straight to the end game for it, max level. I mean, yeah, I can see why people are pissed about it, But if they wanted to play it that much, they probably would have bought the game originally rather than waiting for it to become free and then try it. This is advertising itself as something completely different. This is advertising itself as Godfall, but Challenger Edition. Like, this isn't the campaign stuff. We're giving the arcade version of it, your max level. You've got bosses to go and take out in 3 different game modes. Go have at it. If you like it, go and buy the game. If this was a game that people was genuinely interested when it came out, they probably would have bought it or wait for it to go on sale. I'm fairly certain this is bargain basement game bin stuff now. I'm fairly certain if you go into game or something like, you can pick this up for maybe £20. If you want to take the punt on it, then people are more than welcome to be able to do so. But yeah, so it seems weird to put into the end level and go back and start from scratch if you like. Yeah, but it's 3 different game modes, isn't it? People expected the actual game, then the trailer came out after the PlayStation Plus announcement. People don't like free shit, apparently. But I agree, it's a bit weird sticking you in the end game, but I think if it's got 3 different game modes, is it really? Is it really? That classed as the game because you're not playing through a campaign, you're playing through a different game mode. People just calling it a demo. How long is the demo? Is it like 30 hours worth of a demo? I mean, I'm not going to criticize it because it's a free game and it's a game that I was looking forward to. I know it's probably not the game that I was anticipating playing because it's not the campaign, but at the end of the day, you don't pay anything for Epic Game Store. It's an absolute freeman's. Go on, sign up, you get the game there. I don't see anything wrong with this at all. They are still going to be losing money giving this away for free, despite Epic obviously giving them a little bit of a backhander to obviously have this on their site. I see both sides here, but I don't mean too much. It's free after all. Yeah, again, people don't like free stuff and they want to complain about not getting something for free, even an even bigger game for free, but they give stuff away for free all the time. I think if you want to play this game, you would have had it by now. I don't think you would have waited for it to become free to be able to play it. If this is the way for you to be able to go in and you actually like the combat, you like the power levels, you like to be able to go and collect new armor and be able to have new weapons and stuff like that, you like that shit, then you may want to go back and play the game from the beginning. I don't know. eFootball was free. It was free. It was free. If people didn't like it, they didn't have to play it. It's as simple as that. It's the same with any game. It's the same with any free game. People may have tried Fortnite for the first time. They may have tried League of Legends. I don't particularly like League of Legends, but I love Tales of Runeterra. Love that shit. There's a load of free games. That's why they're free. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it, do you? It's been on sale loads of times over the last 12 months, to be fair. I imagine it's bargain bin stuff now because it didn't come out to 5-star ratings when it first came out as a launch title for the PlayStation. So fairly certain now. Again, if you wanted to play it, you would have bought it because it would have been like... In fact, I'm going to do a quick look now. How much can you actually buy Godfall for? Godfall, PlayStation 5. I bet it'd be like 25 quid tops. Amazon have it at £33 for a AAA launch game. And that's brand new. I imagine if you went to a shop, I mean, it says it's down from 70 quid. I will never pay £70 for that game. So essentially, for a PlayStation 5 game, you're getting it for 30-ish quid. Yeah, you can see where it's starting to fall down with this one. But they're giving that away for £24. Godfall Digital Deluxe, £25 on the PlayStation Store, apparently. That's unbelievable. And Immortals Phoenix Rising is £17. I did actually want to play that. It's Godfall is £15 in CEX. So if people genuinely wanted to buy this game, I'm fairly certain that they would have been able to pick this up for next to nothing for a PlayStation 5 launch game. Spike says eFootball was free, and I still think it was overpriced. I mean, that's your opinion. People are still playing it. I think there was an esports tournament that ran 2 weeks ago on that game, so people are still enjoying it somewhere. May not be to your taste. I think it was never a AAA game standard, but it was sold as one. I think that was the case. It was a launch game for them, wasn't it? So essentially, they're going to try and get as much money as possible for it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for your episodes of The Scoop this week. That's 5 down. We will begin the cycle again next week. So if you want to help shape all 5 shows next week, there is 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or get involved with our Discord. If you're watching this on any of our on-demand services, go into the description below. All the links that you require will be listed there for you, but all we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and opinions. We will then give you our thoughts and opinions on the very next show, which will be at 10 a.m.-ish next Monday. We will be going live again this weekend with 2 extra streams. I say it's extra now. You know the schedule by now. It's 7 days a week. We go live twice a day on Wednesday and Thursday, and then Saturday and Sunday. Graham will be playing PUBG tomorrow if he is of consciousness, because he is going out tonight, as far as I'm aware. And then on Sunday, we'll be back with some more content. It could be Halo. It most likely will be some Skyrim stuff for the time being. We want to try and get as far as we can with that game before we start to switch things out. I like to try and keep a little bit of consistency with my games in the calendar so that people know what to expect. But obviously the team games will be coming back very, very soon, so keep an eye out for that one. But until next week, until tomorrow when Graham's back, it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to host this show for you today. I do hope that you have a fantastic Friday and a good weekend if we don't see you before then. Stick around for the radio. We'll be going over and sending you over to MC Fixer. He is live right now playing some GTA RP over on the 5M servers. But until then, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and take it easy. Plus, stay frosty.